This is the 23 News Update at 10.
Protecting the highest profile guests the Stateline has seen takes a village, and for some local law enforcement, that meant cutting their vacation short to fulfill their duty to serve and protect.
Through a FOIA request, 23 News has obtained overtime hours for President Biden's trip to Belvidere. 23 News reporter Jake Pearson talks to Belvidere Police and Fire about what it took to prepare for President Biden's visit to the city of murals.
Through a FOIA request, we found the Belvidere Police Department paid 172 hours of overtime, and Belvidere Fire had 23 hours of overtime in its mission to protect the president.
It was surprising. It was going to be a neat experience. Obviously, it's not every day that you get to work with the Secret Service.
All hands were on deck when the Commander-in-Chief made his historic visit to the Stateline on November 9th.
He showed up on Thursday. We got notified and had our first conversation with the Secret Service Sunday night.
Belvidere Chief of Police Shane Woody says he was contacted 3 days before Biden's trip to Belvidere through a meeting with Secret Service members.
I think we were too busy initially to really let that set in. We just wanted to make sure that we knew what we needed to do, had the personnel to do it, and then put those things into motion.
Visiting Belvidere to stand with the local United Auto Workers Union, Biden became the first sitting president to visit the Stateline since Ronald Reagan took a trip to his hometown of Dixon in 1984.
To be completely honest, I didn't really know what to expect, at least initially.
16 different agencies were involved in Biden's visit, including Illinois State Police and Stateline Fire and Police Departments.
Everything had to be secured and ready from the airport to Belvidere. Our ambulance got to be the president's ambulance in the motorcade. We had to do a lot in a little time. Awesome experience to get to work with the Secret Service.
Tells me when preparing for Biden's visit, his department focused on emergency rescue and response plans. His team also provided 3 paramedics on scene at all times.
Thank you, Jake. And Belvidere Police Chief Woody says he was worried Biden's trip could inconvenience the city of Murals with traffic and police presence, but was surprised to find that schools and businesses were more than happy to help with the trip.